do 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 do. So we got this awesome character controller, made specifically with a Mario clone in a 3D Mario clone in mind, and now we're gonna add jumping. But before we get into that, I want to mention that I am changing the format of these videos. It's going to be more of a mixture of tutorial and devlog. And the reason for that is because I'm starting to see this as a legitimate game. I'm still going to treat this as a tutorial video somewhat, in that I'm going to show you the logic bricks that I've come up with, because I went ahead and finished what we had planned for the last video. But I'm not going to record everything as I'm doing it. I just think that's more efficient. But anyway, let's show. I'm going to show you what I have here. So we have our super cube boy, and this time though he could jump, and he could jump again, but also he could do a combo jump like Mario, where if you jump and land and jump, you jump at a higher, higher up. The first thing I did is use a ray sensor to search for the floor or ground property, and then I gave the ground that property. So if you click here, you'll see ground, but if you click on our player, we'll also see is grounded in our game properties. I also made sure it's on the negative z-axis and made it a higher number than the default. So when that ray touches the ground property, or anything that has that ground property, we can set is grounded to true. These at the bottom below do the opposite. So is not the invert here, touching the ground. Set it to false. From there, I added two game properties, also known as variables. I added jump combo and is moving. Is moving will come into play later, but for now, we're going to focus on how establishing the rules for the jump combo. So right here I'm testing is grounded with a property actuator, is space pressed with a keyboard actuator, and is jump combo equal to 1. And if these conditions are true, we jump 1,000 on the z-axis, and we'll go back to this later. And I established rules for if the jump combo is equal to 2. So it's the same thing as up here, which was the property sensor, except if equal to 2. I also plugged is grounded and space pressed into their individual AND controllers. Then I just set the values of the z-axis to 1500 and 2000. So if is grounded and jump equals to 1, what is that? That's 1000. And then if it's equal to 2, this is 1500, and then if it's equal to 3, this is 2000. I then made another set of bricks right here to dictate what happens once these bricks, these jump 1, jump 2, are initiated. I put them right here to kind of signify direction, more for myself than anything. So on, this is an actuator, on actuator completed. It's an actuator sensor. So when this is completed, this sensor goes off. Once that happens, this actuator assigns a value to 2, assigns the jump combo variable to 2. which is right over here. The jump combo 2. So now when you jump, it sets to 2. And then when you jump again, it sets to 3. And then when you jump again from 3, it sets back to 1. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Hopefully that makes sense. I know if I was just learning, I probably wouldn't understand, to be honest. But I mean, one can always ask in the Discord or even in the comments. To make it easier to understand, I called this frame here Jump Combo Loop. And basically, when you jump, it checks these numbers here. So when this happens, this line of code goes through and sets the combo to 2. Then when you jump, this happens, and also this happens. Or no, after that happens, this happens. And then set jump combo to 3, and then, you know, I think you get it. Hopefully you get the idea. If you don't feel bad. If I was just starting out with, you know, understanding how game logic works, I'd be confused also. I mean, I don't know how this video is going to turn out from the outside, looking in. So great, now we have our triple jump. The only issue was, and should be if you're following along or trying to get this done, was that you can also triple jump while your character is standing still. Combo jump, sorry. The way I fixed this is I added a isMoving property variable. Above our movement logic that we added last episode, I added these property actuators. This one assigns isMoving to true when these buttons are pressed. Otherwise, an or, which is or, but or not, rather, is one way to put it, set it to false if the inverted happens. So if these keys are pressed, do this. If not, do that. Then I added a condition, which is essentially just a property sensor that checks isMoving true. So is moving true, and are these sensors, which are basically after this, you know, once this initiates, initiate that, then you can set jump combo to 2, and then on jump 2, set jump combo to 3. I feel like that's complicated. I don't want it to be complicated. So I'm going to explain one more time in a different way. These here, these are rules we made up. The one on the side it here are basically setting the changes. So these are like if number is 1 and space bar pressed, jump. Oh, and is grounded. And this one is on kind of like switching between them. Does that make sense? Using a actuator sensor and a property sensor and just assigning them to 2, 3, 1. Anyway, moving on. I realized while making this pseudo Mario game that I want there to be a timer when the player lands. Otherwise, they can just pretty much go through the jump combo variables with no consequences. For an example, if you stop, you would be able to still jump on the third one if the combo 1, 2, 1, 2, oh, 1, there, 1, 1, 2, and then if you were to stop, it would still, you'd jump and it would still go 3, right? Still go the highest value that we made. To fix that, I added a property called jump combo timer, and I just made it an integer. I used the isGroundedTrue property and tested that against the timer itself. Is combo timer greater than 0? If so, subtract. In this, unfortunately, it's add, but you could still do negatives. Subtract 1. Because our game is set to 60 frames per second, is grounded true. It'll deduce 1 every frame from our jump combo timer. Also, every time we jump, we want to set the timer. So, is grounded, space pressed, jump combo is equal to 1, set the combo timer to 30. And since it's going to be greater than 0, it will deduce, subtract 1 from the timer every frame. To make sure I did this right, I added a text object, and I gave it a text property, and I went into the logic node editor, text, and on update set property to jump combo timer. So now on play, we see our timer, and we jump, and when we land, that's the amount of time. I changed it to 30, so that's 30 frames. So we have until that time to jump again for the value to raise our jump combo value to 3, 1, 2, 3. Another thing I had to do, and if you plan to replicate this, you might also have to do, is set on some of them pulse true level. And what that does is it checks it for every frame. And this is on the sensors. See, this one's fine. We don't need it on this one. Don't need it on this one. Don't need it on this one. But we want to check if grounded every frame. So yeah, I'm thinking this is going to be a fun series because you get to learn, but also, oh, right, I almost forgot. We have to make sure, also, if the combo timer is greater than 0, or, sorry, did I change that? Equal to 0. Should probably change that for myself, too. So if combo timer is equal to 0, then we use our jump combo loop on jump 3, set jump combo to 1. Or this sensor here and a OR controller sets it to 1. So you want to make sure that when our jump combo controller is 0, then we set our jump combo to 1. And that's how we get, so back to here, which is 1,000 there, yeah. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. I worked really hard on this. I actually spent like a good, I don't know, 6 hours trying to figure out how this logic could potentially work in the way I wanted it. Yeah. I also have a Patreon if you're into that. In the Patreon, I will supply these blend files, and maybe you can use it as like a template to make your own game of this type. And I'm gonna update it every time, every video, or devlog or whatever. I am starting to feel like this is becoming an actual game, and you know, I'd like to see more platformers on PC. Like there are quite a few good ones, like A Hat in Time. Ukulele isn't bad, but I don't know. there aren't a lot with like multiplayer components or maybe some competitive stuff thrown in. So I'm thinking in line with that. I think in the next video we're gonna focus on things like crouching, but also I'm gonna add like maybe some kind of move like in Banjo-Kazooie, where when you duck and press a button, you kind of get pushed forward. I guess it's like an attack, but you could also use it to like get under hidden areas and whatnot. I'm thinking that is what we're gonna work on